welcome to my channel. My name is Jessie, and this is Bubba Jessie Stitches. It is a channel primarily about cross-stitching. Every once in a while, like a blue moon or so, you may hear about a quilt, but for the most part, it is primarily cross-stitching. How are y'all doing today? So today is my March wrap-up, my April Flosstube. I don't know how I should be like labeling these things anymore. I stopped numbering them. I felt like the numbering system doesn't quite work well for me. I do a monthly update, and so I film at the beginning of the month for progress I made in the previous month. Although I'll say this, I have been thinking about possibly doing more frequent videos, although it's a little bit difficult for me to kind of plan it, mostly because selfishly, I need shorter Flosstube videos. So I was kind of thinking about that because I tend to be very focused in a week, right? Like I tend to work on the same project the whole week. So I don't feel like it warrants me doing videos on a weekly or bi-weekly because I only will show like maybe 1-2 things, right? And so, but then like for me, I find myself like during the workday, don't tell it. It doesn't matter. I watch floss tubes during the workday. Like I don't stitch and floss at the same time, right? Like, but I like it's sometimes my background noise. It depends on what I'm doing in my day. But if I'm just doing basic stuff, I just kind of, have it on. And so the long videos are fine because I'm working an hour day. I can watch an hour and a half long video without any problems usually. But at night, I tend to want shorter videos. I tend to want like half-hour videos. And y'all are not making short videos. Y'all are making movies. And so I'm like, maybe I should make more frequent videos to make them shorter. So that way those of us who want a shorter video frequently can have one. Anyways, that probably won't happen with Jessie. So what's going on? Well, I got some stitching to show you. So life updates in terms of March. We had a great March. Busy. We in Houston. So for those of you who are new, welcome in, by the way. New and returning, welcome in. I hope you're having a good time. The room is a mess. Since the last recording, I did get my new quilting table delivered. So everything is now sitting on that. I've rearranged some things. I'm still in the process. I'm living in spots. Basically, what I've done is I've moved furniture in spaces to kind of be like, is this where I want my furniture to be? Is there enough room? The desk is kind of executive size. Like it takes up most of the room. And so it's like, is this where I would want this table to be? Right. So nothing is where it's supposed to be. It's all in a huge state of flux, and hopefully, but I'm pretty sure that this is kind of the layout that we're living with. The desk right in front of me here, and this is my standing desk that I have my buttons here that go up and down. It's currently height for when I cut. Obviously, I have a printer hanging out right here right now. It won't live there permanently. The only thing I had wanted to see was that I needed to spend a day quilting. Like I needed to spend a day at the machine because this is where actually my machine is, and to see like, am I going to accidentally hit myself when I'm sewing? I don't think so. It's not a ton of space, but it's enough space. So we'll see. And then measurements will go up, and then plates come into play. So I'm very excited about that. And so yeah, so please excuse the mess. Also, it was my husband's birthday on the 31st, and so wrapping paper, things got wrapped, boxes that still need to get thrown out into recycling. I definitely suffer from procrastinator, for sure. So, but anyways, so in Houston, we have a big event. It's one of the largest in the country. I'm not sure if it's the largest. I don't think it is, but we have the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show, which is 3 weeks of grand entertainment of people who are rodeoing. I don't know if that's the verb, but they do all of their competitions for bull ridings, wagon races, and it's a great event. And then there's a concert by major musical acts, national musical acts that come and perform. Most of them tend to be country or Western artists because it's a rodeo, so there's a history of it being mostly country music artists. But there always is a big rock band, or there's always a rock act. There's always for Texas, for Black Heritage Day, they usually bring in a Black artist to perform on Black Heritage Day. There's also Go Tejano Day, where they bring in a Tejano act to perform on that day. So, but they typically tend to be the country music stars. Like our grand finale was George Strait, but like Keith Urban was here, Chris Stapleton, and lots of other people that I don't know because I don't listen to country music. But we went to go see Journey, Gwen Stefani, and Bun B. It did the Houston takeover, H-Town takeover. So Bun B is from the Houston area, so he brought some other Houston rap greats to perform. And I will fully confess that I am not a huge rap fan. I tend to listen to rock, and but I knew I saw something special. Like right when you go to a show or something, and you may not know enough. But I knew I saw something special. I saw something historical. And so that was really pretty amazing. Sadly, I did get really sick, like down for the count, like 5 days, no stitching, sleeping all day, drinking lots of tea, just trying to get healthy. COVID test came back negative. So I think it was a combination of a sinus infection and a cold that kind of converged at the same time. But it was bad. Like it was bad. Like I was joking with my husband. I was like, I think because I haven't been sick, I get allergies. Like I get seasonal allergies every spring. And so some of that was probably allergies combining with all that. But I really haven't been sick in 2 years because we haven't left the house. And when we left the house, we had masks on, right? So our immune system was like super protected. And so we went to the rodeo for a few days, and then I got sick the following week. I'm pretty certain I got sick from going to the rodeo. And I catch this cold that I got, and then I was down for the count for like a week. I'm still actually taking medicine. The doctor prescribed me some antibiotics and some steroids. I'm still on one of those medicines now. And so my joke was that I haven't been sick for so long, my immune system was like, we're going to go to work, overdrive. So, careful when you get sick, y'all. It's not, you forget what it's like to be sick. Like, it was bad. It wasn't bad. I had a really bad cold. I slept a lot. There were worse things that happened in life. Didn't have to sleep a lot, right? Except I couldn't breathe. Sleeping a lot is fine. Being able to breathe would be good. Anyways, let's talk about some stitching. All right. With that, with my sick days, my rodeo days, I ended up stitching a total of 24 days in the month of March out of the 31, which I'm gonna take as a win. I think that's good. And in total, 10,759 stitches. Again, I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things. The only thing I have by comparison to know, like, am I a fast stitcher versus a slow stitcher, is that in No New Starts, I'm in the road trip challenge group, and there's 4 tiers, and I'm in the second tier. So there's one tier that stitches more stitches in each part of the leg than I do, and then I'm in that second tier, and there's a third and a fourth tier. So based on that, and once I was a little behind because of work and everything, but now that once I kind of caught up with everybody, I seem to be keeping pace with the second tier. Like, I don't feel like I need to drop back. I don't feel like I need to drop. So based on that group has a, sampling? That's the right word, right? I'm not a scientist. I don't know what the words are. I guess I'm a little faster than average. So take that for what it is. I had in this month 3 finishes and then a whip. And so I'm really super focused on it. So let's talk about that. So first up was my first finish, which was Barbara Anna's. No, what's going to look like because they're all done. Barbara Anna's Christmas tree. So here it is all the way in the back. Last time you saw it, I really had just this little guy, this branch tree up here, and all of the snowflakes on the left-hand side here to complete. And I finished that in 2 days, and I put in 767 stitches. So it wasn't all of that. It was just basically the snowflakes that were up here. It was just this part that needed to be done. I love this pattern. I mean, let's be real. Barbara Anna, I'm all about take my money because every time she releases something, I have to sit on my hands, hide my credit card so I don't go buy it. And but I love it. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. Probably frame it and it'll just go up at Christmas time. And so really super happy. You can't go wrong with a Barbara Anna. They're easy stitches. They're fun. It just makes you happy when you look at them. So that was finish number 1. And then finish number 2, continuing on with my winter theme stitching. So my goal was to try to finish my winter stuff that I had. Right. So as a reminder, for no new starts, I don't have tons of new starts, but my goal that I made last month was I wanted to try to finish in 2022 any project that I had started prior to 2021. So if it was a new start in 2021, if I finish it this year, great. If I don't, no big deal. But the goal was that if it's 2020 or older, I was going to try to finish it with the exception of one pattern, which was my Sailor Moon Sailor Moon Squad, because that's a BAP. And so that was kind of my goal. And so I was trying to finish 2 of my winter theme stitching by the spring equinox. I did not quite make it. I was a day late, but finish. Oh, Barbara Anna. Sorry. I'm a little spastic today. Am I supposed to say that word? I think I'm not allowed to say that word. I'm a little bit. I may have had too much caffeine today. Barbara Anna was a kit exclusive from Nitka Moscow. It's 25 count even weave, 2/2 with the call for DMC, and so that is where I got that from. Okay, next up is Hello Dear by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and this is a finish. And last time that you saw it, I had the bottom half done. Basically, I had finished page 2, so I had the robin done, and then pretty much where this demarcation is, everything down there. So what I did in the month of March was I finished the top half of the pattern. I love these patterns. They're deceptive. They take a lot longer than you think they will because of their you think they're going to be quicker because they're samplers and these small things, but these little motifs do take up some time. But I love this. It makes me smile. I really enjoyed it. It's a kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, 28 count even weave. I did a 2/2 with the called for DMC. I've already finished Hello Pumpkin, which was the first one that I started and finished. I'm going to wait to finish all 4 pieces before I actually fully finish this, so that way I can decide. That way it's all consistent across the board. I did. And so next up will be Hello Petal. So that was finish number 2. I did 10 days on that, 4,320 stitches. Next up is Modern Tidings by Forbidden Fiber Co. by Kelley something. Everything will be down below, but it is the Downton Abbey Valentine's Day box from Forbidden Fiber Co. And here is this finish. I love this so much. The last time you saw it, I had just basically done the bottom half of her dress. And so all of it is now done. The border, and there's that border up there. It's a little hard to see with the coloring. And then all the wording and everything. This was fun. Really actually stitched up pretty fast. It seems like it wouldn't, but it really did. All of this is Forbidden Fiber Co. So the fabric is 32 count even weave Belfast, not even weave, 32 count Belfast linen, Countess, and then all of the floss is the called for Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. I don't know when this will be available on their website in general, but I love it. Absolutely love it. I stitched it while we were watching Gilded Age, which was on HBO Max, which is by the founder, by Julian Fellows, who also created Downton Abbey, and it's not the same show. Like, it's not. But Julian Fellows did tease the possibility of Cora appearing in season 2 of Gilded Age. She would be a teenager in this time period. So in Modern Tidings, I worked on that for 6 days. And I put in 3,127 stitches into that one. And then last but not least that I worked on was Cinderella, Wishes Upon a Dream. So that is what it will look like when it's done. This is a kit from MCG Textiles, artwork by Thomas Kinkade. It is out of print. And as you know, it's got its problems. And here is where it is. So last time that you saw it, I basically, if you kind of look where this part is, where the curve is here, it was straight, oops, I can't draw straight up from there, right? Up to about the midpoint. So basically I did all of this part right here, include finishing, putting in Bruno there. And I did add in some French knots and everything. So that is where we are at. I worked on this for a total of 7 days, and I put in 2,545 stitches. And so, yeah. I had this big goal to try to finish the page by the end of March, and that didn't happen. I think if I hadn't gotten sick, I might have been able to do it, but that didn't happen. But I did do some calculations for Cinderella. So Cinderella is a piece that I started before 2021, which means I have a goal to finish this by the end of this year. It is a tall goal. I did finally sit down and kind of look at the chart and see how much I had left to do. And I think if I hit between 3,200 to 3,500 stitches a month, I will finish by the end of the year. That does not include the back stitching or the French knots. So I'm not really sure about that, like, you know, in terms of the counting and everything like that. But if I hit between 32 and 3,500 stitches a month, I will finish it by the end of the year. I think that's doable. That's about half my monthly stitching, which I think I can do. The plan is to do monogamous May on Cinderella, which would be about 10,000 stitches in May on this. It gets balanced because I probably will not do as many stitches in June for reasons in June. But so I think that this is a pretty, you know, I feel cautiously optimistic that I can finish it. And I'm still debating on whether or not I want to correct this blue here. I'm still going to kind of wait and see. The more I keep working on it and moving forward on it, the more I think I am going to end up correcting it. But I haven't made that commitment. I'm probably at the 80% convinced that I'm going to make the correction. I just honestly feel like I've spent a lot of time working on it, and even though there's a lot of problems with the pattern in and of itself, with the kit, with some of the flosses and stuff like that, that for me, I put so much time and effort into it. I do love the picture. I do love the artwork. I might as well try to make it look as correct as possible. Kind of my thought. So that's it. That's all my stitching that I got done. I mean, that's not it. Lots. 3 finishes and a whip. What? Who am I? But really excited about that. Now, what's next? Let's put this down so I can talk about other things. What happened else? I got lots of things to show you that I purchased, y'all. What did Jessie buy? Lots of things. So, but yeah, I also did something. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen this possibly. I, in my infinite wisdom, have never done an inventory of everything I own that needs to be stitched, needs to be kitted. And I was kind of thinking to myself that I needed to do an inventory, know what I got. Mostly because I was thinking about what's going to happen in June, which I've alluded to. I'm going on vacation in June. And so I was going to do some vacation trip. And so I was going to think about what I was going to take with me on vacation. And I was thinking a new start for vacation. And I was like, well, what do I got? What's ready? Do I need to kit something? What do I want to do? That kind of thing. Right? So I kind of looked at all of that. So I sat down with my pile of, I gathered all my projects in their various forms and their baskets and things like that. And I'm fully confess they're not all in one place. They were like in 3 spaces. I keep them pretty together. And it includes my time capsule projects and everything. And it turned out I had 92 projects for which I have purchased patterns for. A good chunk of them are actually kitted. Like you can actually see like so here's my spreadsheet. If it's yellow, it's not kitted. That part is not kitted. It's either the floss or I'm missing a fabric. And but like, that's page 2. So a lot of these are kitted. And so you get to page 3 is when you hit the not kitted part, right? But still, this is 4 pages. And most of it is kitted. So I'm 0 stars, 1 star. Do not do if you have not done this. If you like living in ignorant bliss that you will finish all the things you have purchased, do not do this. This was very overwhelming when I did it. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to finish this? Most of these are not even smalls. I have like 6 BAPs on here. What? So yeah, I'm just kind of like, I think at some point in time I will make some hard decisions about like, I'm never going to stitch this. Let's pay it forward and they'll end up in a giveaway or something maybe later on down the line, or a D-stash, but probably a giveaway. But yeah, so I have 92. And by the way, it's not all of them because I had some other things that were on its way that I had not, or I hadn't pulled them out and I found them since then. So really we're probably looking at around 95, 96, almost 100 patterns. And I didn't include all of the free patterns. There were some free patterns that I have that when I was looking at them, like, I'm at the 90% sure that I'm not going to stitch it. So I ended up not including it in my list. And so, but oh my goodness. So I think with this big list that next year, although I did not do Whip Go this year, I might do a New Go next year where I start 24 projects and put in like, try to put in like real hardcore numbers into those projects. So that happened. But that being said, it did remind me of everything that I had, and I'm really excited about the stuff that I had. All right. What did I buy? I had a good haul month. Some of this stuff is going to end up being a little maybe repetitive because I cannot remember if I showed it to y'all last time. So my apologies for that. But I figured it can't hurt. Pretty fabric's pretty fabric to look at, right? So first, we did go visit my in-laws this weekend, celebrating my husband's 40th birthday. That's right, I married a younger man. Woohoo, cougar. But and this weekend, they had a community garage sale. And we also went to, there's a store in their downtown of their town that is handmade resale shop. So where local artisans sell their crafts. But in the back of their shop, they have supplies, like resale supplies. And so I made a huge haul as a result of this community garage sale and going to the secondhand shop. So first of all, I got floss. All of these are Flossaway bags of DMCs. And they range. Some of them have like 1 skein. Some of them have like 4 or in there and stuff like that. And they all range from new, like that one's new. And then obviously you can see in this one, like some of it is partial. And so yeah, they had 4 of these. 4. Each one of these has 100 skeins. I don't think I've gotten a full set because it's 100 skeins. So it's not, and some of these like this one has got like 4 of the same, of this 814 in there, right? So, but what? And each one of these was $12. I actually was like, are you sure this is how much it's supposed to be? So I was like, I am all about this. So I got this. I'm going to just throw things on the ground now. So I got those. They had some hoops. Now, I don't stitch in a hoop, but I have forgotten to bring a Q-snap with me. And so I went ahead and purchased all their hoops. And I figured that they would either be good decorative or I could finish with them. Even though I don't stitch with hoops. So they had that. Then, sneak peek of what I got at the community garage sale. They also had packages of fabric, and I didn't buy all their fabric. I ended up buying what I think I would actually end up stitching on. And so these are all various sizes of and they're like $4. So this one is, sorry for the glare from the plastic. So 32 count linen ivory, 24 by 27. So that's 32 count. This is a Gray's Knits Alma cloth. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's the name of a cloth, but that's 28 count. I'm assuming that it looks like an Evenweave. It looks like it's, there is then, and that one is an 18 by 32. This one's called Super Linen, 10% flax, 48% cotton, 42% poly, 15 by 18, 32 count here. And then this one is an 32 count linen, antique white. So, right? So, and honestly, my thought behind it was that these were relatively inexpensive. So if I wanted to experiment with dyeing, which I've never done, I could do that. But they're also just solid, basic neutrals in an account that I stitch on. So that was really exciting. Then they also had 4 of these little bags. Each one of these has 7 Krynics. And all of these are also in various states of, some of them are brand new and everything. What? It was a killing. I was so extraordinarily excited about that. And then at the garage sale, I found this shaker sewing box. Now, obviously, it's not in great shape. It's obviously well loved. Someone used it in their home. It was, you know, part of a community garage sale. It does need to get a little bit cleaned out inside. Let's see if I can. It needs to get cleaned a little bit, but she priced it for $10. I was able to get this plus this super cute pig cutting board for $10. I'm not a good bargainer. I don't know if I did a good job bargaining, but I don't have a problem with spending money for something if, you know, it's not a big deal to me. I thought this would be good for finishing, or I like pigs. Why not have a pig charcuterie board, right? And so, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. It's, maybe I'll use it as a proper sewing box. I may finish with it. It'll probably be good storage. So this was a great find. And also at the community garage sale, I found this Quilt's Beautiful book. And the author is a local author. And this was written in 1981. And I just felt like it's very similar to Saving the Needlework and that kind of stuff. Like, this is one of those things where the person who was selling it was like, I don't quilt. This was written by my friend, and I thought that maybe someone out there would quilt, and I can kind of pass on their love of quilting. And so it's just kind of like, let's save the book. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with this long term, but for now, it's going to sit on my bookshelf. All right. Last but not least, in terms of the clearance shopping, I went to Michael's I was trying to get those little DMC stickers, but they were sold out. But while I was there, on clearance, they had this embroidery stitch guidebook for $2. And I was like, well, I don't do embroidery, but who doesn't need a good reference of stitching, right? So I went ahead and got this one. I thought that was I went for one thing, did not get what I was coming for. But yeah, so it's like chain stitching, couching. So it's just like a basic little, how to do some basic embroidery stitches. So yeah, so that was a good little find there. Okay. All right. Proper haul. That's proper haul. More haul. I'm telling you, I spent way too much money on stuff this month. So let's go with fabric first. Again, I'm not sure if I've already shown these to you, so my apologies, but they were in my box, and so these are my last 2 Yummy Fiberlicious Fabric of the Month clubs. So this is Silver Moon. Nice, beautiful neutral. I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do on that yet. And then Chai Love You. Again, another really beautiful neutral. I also have an idea of what I'm going to do with that one. And then this is my February. I forgot to show it to y'all last month. Mostly because I didn't open it. From Color and Cotton Stoneware. This is reading a little gray it's definitely a little darker in real life. It's more brown in real life. It's reading gray on the screen for some reason. Probably because of the lighting. It's really dark outside right now. Usually when I film, it's a very bright outside, but a storm is on its way in here. So those are my fabrics for the month. Oops. Hold on one second. All right. My camera froze, so I'm not sure. Anyways, those are my fabric of the month clubs that I just showed you. All right. Now what's next? Patterns and kits. Now, I did make a few purchases for Nashville, from Nashville. And so, but only just two. I got from Autumn Lane Stitchery, ring light, Serena Sprout. And so I just looked at the pattern when I purchased it. I got this from Top Knot Stitcher, Abby. And honestly, when I received it, I noticed that the name of the pattern was called Serena Sprout. I'm not sure if that's a homage to anything. I'm hoping not. But we do know that there is a thing where there is a sprout that is a witch. So this will be the last time I'm going to refer to it as Serena Sprout, just in case it is a homage. But I'm not sure. Does anyone know? Does anyone know if these are homages to certain wizarding fandoms? But either way, I'm going to refer to her as something else. Actually, I'm thinking about calling her Mako, who is the character from Sailor Moon, Sailor Jupiter, and she was a big fan of plants and it works with plants. So I'm thinking about calling it Mako. So I got that. Because you need a springtime witch, right? Surely you need a springtime witch. I also, let me stack things up in a way that's not really good. I also saw this, and I really wanted it, but unfortunately, by the time I had seen it as a pattern that was going to be available for Nashville, most of the LNSs were already sold out. But I am so excited that I was able to get from Primitive Hare directly Cross Stitch Collector. So I'm gonna give you it's all sealed. I can't do it. So there's gonna be a reflection. So sorry. Now look at this. Oh. Look how creepy she is. Can you see how creepy she is? All right. Am I the only one who thinks that this is not really just saying cross stitch collector in the sense of like I collect cross stitch, but maybe cross stitch collector? Like I feel like she's a little bit on the creepy side, like in a good way. Like, you know, I love Halloween. I love a spooky, cutesy Halloween thing, and to me, this screams like a cross stitch pattern that's Halloween. So anyways, I was able to get it from the Primitive Hare. It's got the fabric and then of course it's got the wood plate for it. So I'm excited about that one. This one I'm pretty sure I'm going to start this year because this one is super cute and a little creepy. Again, who doesn't like a little creepy? All right, and then has my support for Stitch Ukraine. I did purchase from Stitchy Princess Black this pattern, which is the rabbit alphabet. Look at how cute that is, and them playing their little music. I don't know when I'm going to start this. My niece is in a band. She plays the oboe, which is funny to think about. My dad played the clarinet, so I feel like it's a continuation of the winds in my family. But she didn't want to play the oboe. She wanted to play the flute. Of course, everyone wants to play the flute, right? But apparently she's pretty good at it. So anyways, I don't know if she would want something like this. It doesn't have an oboe on it, but it is musical, and she does like music. But so maybe this will become a gift for her. But I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I did want to do my little bit of support that I could do. And so I did purchase this from Stitchy Princess Black. Okay. Then more stuff. So I don't really have unicorn patterns, so to speak. But I am half Thai. For those of you who do not know, I've mentioned this before, but I am half Thai. And I have stitched some Thai patterns, and I have purchased some of these patterns in the past. So I don't really have a big unicorn pattern, but there was one from Pinn Stitch that I was looking for, which was of a Thai dancer. And I was able to find it on eBay. Reflections there. Can you see it? I'm trying not to open the kits up, right? So this is a full kit though. So, so pin stitch for a tie dancer. And in the same shop, there was another tie dancer right there. So I do have some other patterns from Pin Stitch, which was a tie company, a tie cross-stitching design company. They are out of business, so all of this is out of print at this point in time. You can find them on eBay in various price points, from anywhere from, these were relatively affordable, but I've seen them as high as $100 and things like that. It really just kind of depends, but you know, it's, for me, it's about stitching my culture, right, when I can, and so, and you don't see that many. It's hard to find good tie patterns, I'm just going to say. But these, again, 2 BAPs. We'll see when I get to it, but I do have them, and super excited. That was a great find for me. 2 more things that we did. I did an unboxing for this, and so if you watch my unboxing, you would have already seen that, but I did buy the, I don't remember what it was called. What the big box was called. But for Forbidden Fiber Co., it was their drink one. And so there's two site ones. So this is the Tea Time and Coffee Helps. And so that is, so there's an unboxing video that you can go and watch that. So I did purchase that. But I wanted to go ahead and show it here just in case you don't want to watch unboxing videos. And then last but not least, it's now living in this 805 stitching, was I purchased from FanGirl Fiber. Spoilers. Everyone should have received it by now. I think they're already. I think it's already being shown on all the social media. But I got the Spring Equinox box from Fangirl Fibers, and the pattern is called In Spring. It's by Michelle Bendy, and it's based on the story of Persephone in Hades. Isn't that an awesome pattern? I love it. One of my favorite musicals is Hadestown. It was supposed to come into Houston, and we had tickets to go see it. And then, unfortunately, it was in that time frame when that big wave of the Omicron variant was coming through, and they ended up having to cancel our entire run. So that was a bit of a shame, but they'll come back. I think it's being rescheduled in September or something like that, and we'll see it then. But so super excited about this. I really wanted to start this one, but I opted to start Hello Petal instead. But you're not going to see that because that was an April 1st start, so you'll see it next month when you see that update. I think that's it. Solid video. I think it's probably about 40 minutes. I have a break there, but I think it's about 40 minutes. I don't know if there's anything else. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope that March is doing good. That if you are suffering from seasonal allergies, it is not too bad. I did finish 2 books this month. I don't normally talk about the books I read or the movies that I watch, but the book that I read was called Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I do recommend it if you like fantasy stories. It is based on Chinese myths, and it was great. I read it in like 4 days. It was a fast read, a really great story. But it is part of a duology, so then the second book will be coming out this fall. But the book stands alone. There's no cliffhanger. So just to let you know, there's no cliffhanger. I don't ruin anything by there, but the story continues in another book later this fall, and I'm looking forward to getting that book. It was a great book. And also for my crafters, I think it's already been mentioned in other Flosstube channels, but if you like musical theater, Sutton Foster, who is a pretty famous Broadway performer, has written a memoir called Hooked: How Crafting Saved My Life. I finished that book. I did it as an Audible, so I listened to her read it. It is a memoir. It is Sutton Foster's memoir, but it incorporates how she's a crafter, and it's a way for her to manage her stress and anxiety and things like that. And it served as tools of working through some issues and things in her life, in stages in her life. And so that was very interesting. Cross stitch does show up in there, but it is not her primary craft. But I do recommend it. And if you are, like audiobooks, she did an excellent job reading it. That's it. Plans for April. So I did have a new start, and that was a plan. I had planned to do a new start in April, especially when you see 92 plus patterns that still need to get stitched. You're like, you feel the need to start something, right? So my plan is to work on Hello Petal, which I've already started, and I will hopefully put in at least 32 to 3,500 stitches into Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. The goal is to finish the page and then hopefully hit 3,000 stitches. That's the goal. But we'll see. And I think those are my only two solid plans. After that, I think I'm going to kind of just be inspired by the two challenge groups that I'm in. So I am, again, in No New Starts. I do the road trip as my challenge for that, and, picking pieces based on that. But most of it is, whatever you're working on. And then I'm also in a fandom stitching group, which is focused on Star Wars this year. And I enjoy that one. That one's fun because it's all Star Wars themed, but you can do whatever you want. And you get to watch the movies and the shows. And it gives us an excuse to rewatch the movies. And some of them we haven't seen in forever. Like, we haven't seen the first three, the prequels, the three episodes 1, 2, and 3, like, since they came out. So, like, rewatching them is just kind of like, yeah, they're still not as good. but it's also kind of reflective to kind of be like, but they weren't as bad. like you remember them being worse than they were. But all that information is down below if you want to join the group. I think you can't join No New Starts now. I think that the group is now closed. But if you are in No New Starts, you can join the road trip at any time. So if you happen to be in the No New Starts group, the road trip is separate. You can still join that now. So, you can do that. But the fandom group is open at any time. Feel free to join us. There's not that many of us, and it's really pretty low key. You can choose to be on a team and be part of, like, the challenging group for the teams, and post your scores and stuff like that, or you can just use it as a way to prompt you and to take kind of to encourage you to do certain stitching and that kind of stuff. So but otherwise, I think that's going to be it. I do think I'm going to end up working on Frosted Pumpkins Happily Ever After sampler. That is definitely in the in the bin for something I wanted to work on in April. And I think that's going to kind of be my 3 focus pieces. My goal is to finish Hello Petal by the summer solstice. That's going to be the goal. That is a tall order. That's a lot, right? It's a brand new start. It's a large piece. I'll be on vacation. Trying to finish that by the solstice will be difficult. But you gotta strive for something. You gotta have goals, right? So, anyways, I hope wherever you are having a stitching good time. Thanks for spending time with me, and I hope to see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.